Hi and welcome. My name is Johnny Fergan. I'm from All Total Coaching. What I want to talk to you today is an epidemic in Australia. What I'm about to hear, a lot of people know, yet you will never hear it on mainstream media. Today, we've got an epidemic of depression, people taking drugs, recreational or whatever, or people just taking prescription drugs that are prescribed by doctors. Not to mention, the food that people consume today is so bad, and we've got an epidemic with obesity. Not to mention that today, a third of the population, in my personal opinion, humble opinion, is depressed. Now, I'm not going into the exact figures that I don't have, but I can reassure you, I've got a few friends of mine that are doctors, and I will not nominate names because obviously they didn't tell me. But not once or twice or three times, in fact, at least 20 times in the last year, my friends, doctors, have told me how many people are depressed. And they may have a lot of money and they're absolutely depressed. And a lot of these people are taking prescribed and not prescribed antidepressant. Not to mention, we've got an epidemic of people that are obese. When I was a kid, I used to play in the ground. Today, you don't see that. The moment they've got access to Wi-Fi, we all know what happens. Today, we are facing one of the biggest epidemics that the media very mention it very little. Because they'd rather you watch Chicago Housewives, or rather you watch the latest on Kim Kardashian, or whatever. But the real truth, we've got an epidemic in depression, in obesity, prescription drugs, and more than anything, today we have a society that is dependent on drugs. Yet not one word, or even when they talk about it, they talk about it very little. And today, I'm going to tell you why that is. It's because of unrealistic expectations of people that live in the fantasy land. They don't live in the real world, they live in the fantasy land, where a man or a woman will not look for a good partner. The woman's looking for Superman, and the man's looking for Superwoman. When that only exists in the movies, excuse me. Furthermore, when they get introduced to a man or a woman, instead of focusing on the good things he or she brings to the relationship, they focus on the negatives. And we all know what you focus on will grow. And therefore people always think that grass is always greener over there. Yet they end up with another bigger loser or another ever bigger mental person. This is something you will never hear in mainstream media about the demise of the family unit and where people are lost. And the more and more people do not have support, and the more and more people do not have a partner they can confide in about their issues, the more likely they will get depressed. And slowly but surely use recreational drugs and prescription drugs, and sooner or later they will end up just up here at the Gap in Sydney, Australia, committing suicide. Now, I've got a lot of emails from people telling me that I exaggerate. And therefore, today, I'm challenging anybody. And I will give a bet of $10,000 US. $10,000 US. For anybody that wants and challenges me that I said, and I stand it again, that 5 people per week commit suicide. I challenge those people that email me, and anybody watching this video at the moment, I challenge them. I'll give you 1 to 10. I'll give $10,000 US to the person that thinks I'm lying or exaggerating, and I will personally take you and I'll show you the amount of people that commit suicide, yet not one mention in mainstream media. Because society in the West, especially in Australia, I'm talking about, is extremely depressed. Extremely depressed. I'm going to put links below. If you're going for depression or you're going for any issues, you can help yourself. There's a lot of help out there, but a lot of people are embarrassed. There is nothing to be embarrassed. I used to be depressed. The difference is I asked for help and I got it. From my doctor, my friend, and a lot of people. But at the end of the day, other people can help you only when you acknowledge first you've got an issue, and then you stop taking these drugs and stop lying to yourself and being the worst thing you could ever be, a victim. A victim is never going to be in power. A victim will always blame other people for his or her misfortune. Therefore, I put links below if you want to overcome this and you want to be an empowered man or woman and help you get at the end of the day what you really want. Mainstream media never highlights the epidemic we are now in Australia, and I'm sure with a lot of colleagues of mine that live in the US and Canada and New Zealand, that the epidemic is not only here, it's all over the West, because majority of people lost their way. And one of them is the demise of the family unit. Now, I'm not going to go into all the logistics about this, because this is other topic for another video, but that's more or less what I wanted to highlight you about the epidemic of depression and people that are literally have got suicidal thoughts, and a lot of people that are committing suicide, and the epidemic of obesity, that one way or another, they're all connected to one another, and that's what happens. I know this is a somber topic, nobody wants to bring it up. In this channel, we bring you the truth. We don't only talk about how to inspire yourself. We bring you the real truth so you can be an inspired man, inspired woman, and you can overcome these issues. Because these are issues that we all dealt or are dealing at one stage or another of our lives. Thank you very much for all the people that helped me put this clip together. And again, that bet still stands. So if you want to take that bet, it's 1 to 10. Email us at john@sosdating.com, and it's 1 to 10. And I'll show you things that no mainstream media will show you, what I'm able to show you live. No stories, no gimmicks. How the suicidal epidemic in Australia is hitting for majority of people, especially the world. Thank you very much for listening to us. Look us up on www.alltotalcoaching.com or email me at john@sosdating.com. Thank you very much for listening. As always, you know who I am? I'm your friend, Johnny Forget. Bye-bye.